The X Zone Radio Show is heard on radio broadcast affiliates worldwide, including AM 580 CFRA in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. WPUL AM 1590 in Daytona Beach, Florida. KOHI AM 1610 in St. Helens, Oregon. KHRO AM 1150 in El Paso, Texas. And for more information on becoming a professional broadcast affiliate of the X Zone Radio Show, visit www.xzbn.net or call toll-free worldwide 1-800-610-7035.
The X Zone radio and TV show is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X Zone radio and TV show or in any manner endorsed by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, Talkstar Radio Network, its affiliated stations, or employees.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Here we are, born to be kings, we're the princes of the universe. Here we belong, fighting to survive in a war with the darkest power.
And welcome to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern right here on the X Zone Broadcast Network and our affiliated networks worldwide. If you'd like to give us a call toll-free, worldwide, 1-800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com. And our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. My first guest tonight is Lindsey Morgan, and she is the author of Believing That You Belong After Having a Mastectomy. Lindsey is a single mom in her 40s, raising 4 children and attending Kaplan University for her bachelor's degree in medical office management. She is trying to live her life as normal as it can be. This book is about a journey that Lindsey has been taking since she became sick with cancer, and how one can come to understand what hope and love and life is really about. It is told through the eyes of someone with breast cancer. Joining me now is Lindsey Morgan, the author of Believing That You Belong After Having a Mastectomy. And Lindsey, welcome to the X Zone.
Thank you for having me, Mick.
It's our great pleasure, dear. Give us a little bit of your background, a little bit of your biography.
Well, my background is, like I said, I'm a single mom, raising my children, working, doing what other parents do, just make sure that their kids have, and living a normal life.
And you've got 4 children, am I correct?
Yes, I do.
What are their ages, dear?
I have one that's 18, one 17, one 24, and one just turned 30.
Oh, my goodness. Where did the idea to write the book come from, Lindsey?
It came from what I experienced when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and what I had to go through having breast cancer.
How long did it take you to write the book, dear?
It took me a year.
And what was the hardest part for you when writing your book?
The the hardest part for me was realizing that everything I was writing in my book really happened, and you can't believe what a person goes through when they told they have breast cancer, and how your life changed from one minute to the next. You don't know what's going to happen from one day to another.
Lindsey, you and I have to take a commercial break. Please stand by. We're going to be coming back in 2 minutes. Exonation, okay. Lindsey Morgan is our special guest this hour. We're talking about Lindsey's book entitled Believing That You Belong After Having a Mastectomy. Her website is www.believingafterthemastectomy.com. 1-800-610-7035, worldwide toll-free. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv at hotmail.com. And our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. And don't forget, if you'd like to listen to the X Zone Radio Show 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year, www.xzonetv.com. We'll be back on the other side of this 2-minute break. Don't go away.
Like Marlene Dietrich, and you dance like Zizi Jeanmaire. Your clothes are all made by Balmain, and there's diamonds and pearls in your hair. Yes, there are. You live in a fancy apartment off the boulevard Saint-Michel, where you keep your Rolling Stones records and a friend of Sacha Distel. Yes, you do. But where do you
Exonation.
go, my lovely?
Lindsey Morgan is our special guest. We're talking about Lindsey's book. It's entitled Believing That You Belong After Having a Mastectomy. Her website is www.believingafterthemastectomy.com. Lindsey, was it you who found the lump yourself, or was it your doctor?
It was myself. My doctor recommended that I do my own breast examination, and I found my lump myself.
What was your first thought after you found the lump?
I was scared and nervous because all I heard was bad things about if you find a lump. There was a lot of different emotions going through my head, but I didn't want to think negative at the time. So
how old
I kept
were you?
a positive.
I'm sorry, dear. You kept a positive attitude?
Yes, I did. I was 38 years old when I found my lump.
My gosh. How did your family react?
They were scared and nervous because all you hear is negativity. You know, you find a lump, you automatically got cancer. So that was just going through all of our heads.
So your doctor told you to do these self-breast examinations. You were giving yourself an examination. You found a lump. You told your family about it. You went to see your doctor, and you were told that you had breast cancer. How did you feel?
When I went to the doctor and he checked my lump, first he told me it was coffee and caffeine, to stop eating coffee and caffeine. So I did, but my lump kept getting bigger and bigger and sore.
Yeah.
And I said, well, something's not right. So what he did is he sent me to a surgeon, and the surgeon told me I had breast cancer.
How did you feel at that moment when you were told you had breast cancer, that your worst fears had come true?
What am I going to do? Why did God pick me to get this disease? Why do I deserve to be going through this? It's a lot of different emotions. What's going to happen to my kids? It's a lot of different things that go through a woman's head when she told she has breast cancer, because you're in for the fight of your life. So what are you going to do? What's going to happen to you?
What did you do?
I cried. I balled up in the ball, and I cried, and I denied. I went into denial. I didn't believe I had breast cancer. No, this wasn't happening to me. I called my mom. I asked my mom, has anybody in this family ever had breast cancer? She said no. I said, so why is this happening to me? I mean, I went into a complete denial. I didn't want to believe I had breast cancer.
How did the fact that you were diagnosed with breast cancer affect your spiritual beliefs?
I didn't believe anymore. I didn't believe in God. I blamed God. I said, why are you putting me through this? I try to do good in my life, but why are you putting me through this? And then my mom told me that God puts you through certain tests to see if you can live through it. I don't want this test, and I didn't believe in God anymore. I blamed him, basically.
Did your family change after you told them that, yes, in fact, you did have breast cancer?
Yes, they did.
What
it was
happened,
like
honey?
everybody's walking on pins and needles. It's bad that you have to deal with it yourself, but you have to sit there and try to be strong for your family because you don't want your family to see the fear that you're going through. So you're trying to hold back what you're feeling to protect your family. And that's what I did. I didn't want them to know how bad things got. So I try to keep them thinking positive. And it's hard when you're trying to keep your family in a good mood, but deep down inside yourself, you're dying.
And you're very scared.
Yes, very.
There's a lot of uncertainties. How did you find peace? How did you make peace within yourself?
I found peace in myself because of my children. But I also found peace in myself that I came to the terms to realize that appreciate what God gave you because you never know when it's going to be taken away. And there was a reason why I was picked and why I had to go through this and why I had to go through the fight of my life. Maybe because it's to help other women out there realize that you can go through this and there is life after breast cancer. I don't know, but that was my thinking, and that's what got me through this.
It sounds that you made peace with your Creator as well.
Yeah, I had to. It's like he was testing me. Can I fight this fight? And I did. It was a long and hard journey, but I fought it. I mean, I still look at my scars and I still cry, but I'm alive.
And you've got 4 beautiful children.
Yes, I do.
How many grandbabies?
Too many. I have I have 10 grandkids.
God love you.
Yeah.
Tell me, what was the inspiration for writing your book? Why did you write your book?
Because of everything that I've been through and everything I lost. When you diagnose with breast cancer, you lose yourself. But that's not all that you lose. You lose everything. And you got to. And when fighting breast cancer, you get to your lowest point in your life, and you have to think about, okay, now, what's going to make you get up, want to fight, and want to live? And my children was that for me. I lost everything when I got sick, and it's not just material things, but it affects your credit, it affects your job, it affects everything when you get sick, and you have to basically start over, and that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to start over, but in the meantime, writing my book gives me peace because I can write down what I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And that I know that I can help somebody else out there that's going through the same thing or feeling the same thing.
Was there ever a time when you just woke up and said, I just can't do it anymore?
I do that every day. Every day when I look in the mirror and I look at my scars, I asked myself, why am I here? I mean, what do I have to look forward to? You know, nobody's going to want me like this. Come on now. Society got people believing that you got to be double D to be accepted. But when you get a mastectomy, you don't feel like that. You feel alone and lost. So I feel like that every day.
You know what? I was always raised, and I truly believe that you never judge a book by a cover. That it's a
Well, see,
person's.
that's you.
You know what? There's a lot of people out there like that, honey.
Well,
I'm
it's hard.
I'm listening to you, and I'm listening to a lady who has a lot of strength, who has a lot of compassion, who has 4 major reasons and 10 little reasons to keep going. You want to share your story because you want to help. And you know what? To me, that shows me that you're a very loving, wonderful lady.
I am. But I'm also scared. You know, you got to think about it, what's going to happen. You know, it's hard. It's hard to try to pick up after you had a mastectomy. It really is.
What's the hardest part? Looking at your scars?
Looking at my scars and being around people, because I feel like people are still staring at me, you know, and it's my scars, basically.
How are your children? I would bet everything I have that they are so glad that their mom and their grandmother are still around.
They are, and they see me cry. But my daughter, she tells me, Mom, you know, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. You know, but it's hard. It's hard to try to find.
How long ago was it when you had your mastectomy?
It was a couple of years ago.
Now, forgive me for asking, and if I ask you something that you feel uncomfortable with, please just tell me, okay?
Okay.
Is there any psychological help for people who have mastectomies? Is there any help at all?
Yes, there's help. I mean, you can talk to a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's help out there, but you have to want it. You have to want to sit there and bare your soul to somebody that you don't even know. I mean, you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it all depends on your insurance too. You know, you get what you pay for. That's what I am. That's what I learned.
Wow. You and I have to take a commercial break with the news at the bottom of the hour.
Okay.
Lindsey, please don't go away. It's a pleasure talking to you, and I sincerely mean when I say that you have so much to give, and you're giving so much. I'm happy to know you.
I'm happy to know you too.
Lindsey, please stand by. We'll be back on the other side of this break.
Okay.
Gosh, Exo Nation, Lindsey Morgan's our special guest. She's the author of Believing That You Belong After Having a Mastectomy. Her website is www.believingafterthemastectomy.com. That's www.believingafterthemastectomy.com. It is published by Publish America. Lindsey and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break as the X-Zone continues from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. On the Talkstar Radio Network, X-Zone Broadcast Network, UK High Definition Radio, Euro High Definition Radio, Star Cable, and, of course, X-Zone TV. We'll be back on the other side of this break. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away.
And you dance like Zizi Jamais. Your clothes are all made by Balmain, and there's diamonds and pearls in your hair. Yes, there are.
You're listening to the X-Zone Radio Show, live and around the world on the Talkstar Radio Network, X-Zone Broadcast Network, UK High Definition Radio, Euro High Definition Radio, and Star Cable. Our toll-free telephone number worldwide is 1-800-610-7035. Our email address, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com.
Why do I feel like I'm losing control? Paperback writer.
Welcome back, everyone. Lindsey Morgan's our special guest. Her website is www.believingafterthemastectomy.com. Lindsey's the author of Believing That You Belong After Having a Mastectomy. How did your friends react? Were they supportive? Did you have your own support group?
Yes, I did. They were scared.
Mm-hmm.
They was more scared than I was, I believe. And a lot of times I just wanted to be by myself. I mean, I know they was there, but they was more scared than myself.
Really, eh?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of new strengths did you develop because of your disease?
I got stronger, and God, what did I believe in? That there is life after a mastectomy. You just have to find it. You just have to find yourself. You have to believe in yourself again. You have to want to believe in yourself again to live with a mastectomy. It's really hard. This is the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life.
How would your book help others, Lindsey, who are going through the same kind of hurt and pain that you did?
My book will help them know that there is something better out there, and not to give up, and to believe that they do belong after a mastectomy, and don't let nobody else tell them different, and that there is life after a mastectomy.
How's your family now? Is everybody doing all right, including the 10 little grandbabies?
Yes, everybody's doing fine. They be pushing me to go out and date, but I'm not to that point right now, because I don't want to get rejected, if you want to call it that.
How do you prepare yourself for that day when you finally decide that, you know what, I'm going to go looking again?
Whew, that's a good question. I haven't found that answer yet, but it's a good question. I don't know. I just don't want to get rejected.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go through all this pain and hurt, and to have somebody tell you that you're not woman enough for them, that makes you go right back into the deepest hole that you went in when you was dealing with your cancer. So you have to be really sure that you're ready to get rejected.
But what happens if that first date is a time when somebody understands that, you know, a book is, you never judge the book by the cover, and they have the opportunity of getting to know the wonderful lady that's inside the cover?
Well, if a person finds that, hold on to it and grab it and don't let it go, because then that's real.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to find somebody that is that compassionate and caring and doesn't care what you look like on the outside, but loves you for your inside. And if you find that, that's good.
Is your cancer completely gone, dear?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. I am so happy to hear that.
Me too.
What was the hardest part? I might have asked you this before, but whenever I've talked to authors over the last number of years, there's always one part of a book that gives them the hardest time. It's that chapter, they call it the chapter from hell. What was the hardest chapter you had to write in your book, or that you found was the hardest chapter for you to write?
The hardest chapter in my book was looking in the mirror every day. You have to have that strength to look into the mirror and look at yourself. That was the hardest part for me, to look at myself and to let anybody else see my scars. That's the hardest thing for me.
Have you heard from other women who have had mastectomies since you've written your book, and what kind of feedback are you getting from them?
Well, I heard from a couple, and they tell me I'm strong,
Mm-hmm.
And that I'm doing a positive thing, because a lot of women wouldn't do that, wouldn't write what they went through for the world to know that they have a mastectomy, But to me, to get my words out on a book, on a page, that's what gave me my strength. I couldn't hold my feelings in anymore, so I just took my pain and my hurt and I wrote it down in my book. That's what gave me the strength.
Why do you think in today's society, Lindsey, we can't be honest with other people and do what you did? Express your pain, express your feelings, let the world know that, hey, we're not okay, but we want to be okay, and we still have so much to offer through our own very experiences.
Because society got everybody thinking that you have to be a certain size to be accepted. And when somebody has a mastectomy, you don't want to put yourself out there. They want you to be glamorous or be accepted. Okay, let's go. You got to be a double D. But when you have a mastectomy and you try to get out there and meet somebody, you're not that size anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that option to go up there and try to make yourself bigger or whatever anymore. That's what I said earlier, that you have to appreciate what God gives you, because you never know when it's going to be taken away.
Yeah.
So society has people believing that you have to be a certain size to be accepted. And that's why a lot of women with mastectomies just stay in the background, because why would you want to put yourself through the humiliation and being put down by somebody because you're not that certain size?
But you didn't ask, why should anyone who has a mastectomy or any other physical altering operation, why should they feel as if they should hide when nobody asked for cancer, nobody asks to lose a limb in a car accident? Society has a problem.
Yeah, they do. And it's not going to get any better until society changes their outlook on how they treat people. And there's a lot of times I want to hide. I want to go back into that hole. I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life, but I'm scared to get out there and meet somebody because I don't want to get hurt again. I don't want to get rejected. I don't want to get turned away because I had a mastectomy or somebody see my scars.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you want to stay in the back. It makes you don't want to. It makes you don't want to step out there. I'm normal. I'm a normal person. I have a good heart. But when you go out to meet somebody, and eventually you tell them you had a mastectomy, that's it. why would anybody want to put themselves through that? So that's why people that have mastectomy stays in the back.
You said you don't want to put yourself through that again. Has this happened to you in the past?
Yes, it has. I put myself out there one time, and the guy had a nerve to tell me that sometimes he needs to be with a woman that has breast.
Ouch.
So that just makes you just want to go all the way back out, and you just want to hide. You don't want to put yourself out there anymore.
I'll tell you, he's not, whoever this man was is not the rule. He's the exception.
Yeah, but
I
a
know
lot
it's
of people
hard.
think like that. Yeah, it is. But a lot of people think the same way he does. So I don't put myself back out there anymore. I stay in the back.
For now.
Nah. I just feel like that's where I'm supposed to be, in the back. Because I don't want to put myself back out there like that. I mean, 'cause it was like a knife going in my heart when that person told me that.
What was your favorite part of writing your book?
My kids. My kids and their strength.
What did the kids think when they saw Mom's book?
Oh, they loved it. They loved it, and they said, "Mom, I'm glad you out here trying to help other women out there."
How did you feel when your publisher sent you the hard copy version and you had the book that you wrote in your hand?
I was excited. I just hope that it reaches a lot of other women out there. I was excited because it's a big thing. It was a big thing to me to put down what I felt when I was fighting my cancer.
Now that you've written your book, thank the good Lord, you're cancer-free. You've got 4 children, 10 grandchildren. What's next for Lindsey Morgan?
My second part of my journey.
And what is that?
No. I have no idea. I have no idea right now. I'm not in the dating scene right now, so I can't write about that. You know, it's basically trying to find yourself again. I mean, after the cancer, I got to try to find a job. Because when I had my cancer, I lost my job. So I got to go out and try to find another job. I got to find a place to live. I need another vehicle because I lost all that. So it's hard. So it's trying to get myself back where I was at before I had cancer.
So you're starting all over again.
Yeah, I got to start all over.
It's hard for me to understand how, once again, in the 21st century, you didn't ask for the cancer.
No, I didn't.
And it seems that society is punishing you for something that you had no control over.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you're not the only person, and this is why you're writing your book, to say, hey, society, something is desperately wrong. Where does the fault lie? Does the fault lie with the marketing that puts these 10 plus 10 people on their ads, whether it's a male or a female? Instead of looking at people as they really are, take off the rose-colored glasses, and there's got to be something that can be done to change the image from the perfect to the real.
Yeah. And once you get that real, that scares people. So they rather just have the people that they have out there now. They don't want anybody real. It's not about being real. It's about what they can sell. So if you like if you big size or whatever, yeah, they take you. You can sell anything. They don't want anybody real. Until society accepts that, that's what we have to go through. you know. And then when you diagnose with breast cancer, it's not you're not just fighting for cancer in your life. You're fighting to get everything back that you lost in your life. It's like you got to start all over again. I lost everything, Rob, when I got sick. I lost everything. I even lost my insurance through my job that I had to go to the state so I can have surgery for my cancer. So it's hard. It's really hard. And trying to get your life back is even harder.
Lindsey, you and I have to take our final break for this segment. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for your bravery. Thank you for being you and for the great, wonderful thing that you've done by writing your book to help others. See, you are a wonderful person.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me.
It's my great pleasure. Lindsey Morgan's our special guest, X-Zone Nation. The name of her book is Believing That You Belong After Having a Mastectomy. Her website is www.believingafterthemastectomy.com. That's www.believingafterthemastectomy.com. And Lindsey and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break as the X-Zone continues from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away.
Sarah, madam, will you read my book? It took me years to write. Will you take a look? It's based on a novel by a man named Lear, and I need a job, so I want to be a paperback writer. Paperback writer. It's a dirty story of a dirty man, and his clinging wife doesn't understand. His son is working for the Daily Mail. All I wanna do when I wake up in the morning is see you rise. Rosanna, Rosanna, never thought that a girl like you could ever care for me. Rosanna, all I wanna do in the middle of the evening is hold you tight. Rosanna, Rosanna, I didn't know you were looking for more than I could ever be. Since you went,
X-Zone Nation, Lindsey Morgan is my special guest. She's the author of Believing That You Belong After Having a Mastectomy. www.believingafterthemastectomy.com. Lindsey, what would you like to say to the ladies out there who are listening who, you know, they go to the doctor, they do the self-examinations. What would you like to tell them if that day comes when they discover a lump or their doctor does? What words of wisdom do you have?
Early detection. If you find a lump, please go to the doctors and listen to what your doctor tells you. But definitely, if your tumor is sore, go to the doctors. I know that saying if you find a lump and it's sore, it's not cancerous. Don't believe it. Go to the doctor. If you find it, early detection. Please, please. That's all I can tell you, because please don't let it get to the point where you have to make a choice of losing your womanhood or keeping it. Go soon as you find your lump.
Tell me, Lindsey, is there another book in the offing for you?
Yes, it is.
And what's it going to be about?
My journey after part 2.
And I understand that you're going for your bachelor's degree in medical office management. How's that going?
It's going good. I graduate this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, it's my life is going towards a positive path. It takes a while, but it gets there.
You've got the children, you've got your new career. You're going to be graduating this year. You've got your life. You're cancer free. You've got a positive attitude, and you're out there helping ladies who may be faced with the same thing that you did. Hats off to you for that, my dear.
Thank you. I don't want nobody to go through what I went through. And if it can be prevented, and if I can help prevent it, then that's what I want to do. Because nobody should lose their self or everything they work for because they was told they had breast cancer.
Lindsey, you and I have to say so long for now. How can our listeners get a copy of your book?
You can get a copy. You can go to Amazon.com. You can go to BarnesandNoble.com. You can go to PublishAmerica.com. Those 3 places you can purchase my book.
And, of course, we want people to go to your website as well at www.believingafterthemastectomy.com. Lindsey, take care of yourself. I look forward to speaking to you in the future about your second book. And just to say hi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Rob.
My great
You don't know how glad I am to be able to help others out there. And thanks to you for putting me on your radio show.
You take care of yourself, my new friend. Say hi to the kids
too.
for me.
I will.
Bye-bye now. Lindsey Morgan has been my guest this hour. Exonation, believingafterthemastectomy.com. She is the author of Believing That You Belong After Having a Mastectomy. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news at 6.5 minutes past with Mr. Small Claims Court as the X Zone continues. Don't go away.
Who's